This is Shelley Craft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're coming to you from the Planet MicroCap Showcase 2019 in Las Vegas. With me is Thomas Equels from Hemispherx Biopharma, Inc. It's a publicly traded company, and the symbol is HEB on the NYSE. Tom, welcome back to SNNLive.
Well, it's great to see you again, Shelley.
So, Tom, give us a brief overview of the company, and then I'll give you some more questions after that.
Okay, great. Thank you. Our company is primarily focused right now on developing our drug platform Ampligen. It's a toll-like receptor 3 agonist, which means it's a broad spectrum platform for a variety of different diseases, and we're working principally in two areas, Immuno-Oncology and a disease called ME/CFS.
So what's some history? Tell our audience, what's some history behind the company?
Well, the two drugs that we have are Ampligen and Alferon. Alferon is the only FDA-approved natural alpha interferon. We've got that approval in the bag. Now we're working on a manufacturing technique that will allow mass production of this biological drug for purposes of commercial distribution. Our drug Ampligen is showing great promise in immuno-oncology. What Ampligen has been shown to do in various preclinical experiments, in human tumor explant experiments, and now proof of concept clinical trials is modify the microenvironments of tumors so as to allow the immune system and checkpoint blockade therapies to better identify these tumors for treatment. Now we're starting clinical trials. The first major clinical trial just got kicked off at the University of Pittsburgh in recurrent ovarian cancer, where we're working with a checkpoint blockade therapy called pembrolizumab. And in combination, Ampligen in combination with pembrolizumab is being tested to see if we're getting that synergy and higher levels of efficacy than pembrolizumab by itself.
What is unique about Hemispherx?
Well, what's unique about Hemispherx is, our primary objective is to focus on unmet medical needs in the field of immunology. For example, we're working very hard with Ampligen in pancreatic cancer. We have a Dutch government-approved therapeutic program called an early access program running right now at Erasmus University, showing that Ampligen can be used as a therapy there in pancreatic cancer as a standalone. And we intend to follow that up based upon experimental work that we're doing at the Buffett Cancer Center and the University of Nebraska with a combination therapy, Ampligen plus checkpoint blockade, to try and develop a therapy for pancreatic cancer. Why? Because pancreatic cancer is a largely unmet medical need. The death rate is very high, like 90+%, and 400,000 people will die this year alone from pancreatic cancer. So what we're doing there is aimed to make a difference. Recurrent ovarian cancer, we just kicked off an industry-funded University of Pittsburgh study with up to 45 subjects in recurrent ovarian cancer. Now this is ovarian cancer for which the other therapies don't work. Now 150,000 women will die this year alone from recurrent ovarian cancer. So working again with the checkpoint blockade therapy pembrolizumab in combination with Ampligen, we're testing the possibility of creating a new combination therapy to help those people who don't have any hope right now.
What's your competitive advantage?
Our competitive advantage is that we're sitting in a space where there are very few potential candidates. And of the toll-like receptor candidates, we believe we're the most selective agonist, which means we're the most focused on doing what needs to be done to convert cold tumors into hot tumors. And on top of that, we have a safety profile that's quite large because we've done years of work in HIV and a disease called chronic fatigue syndrome. So we have almost 100,000 doses intravenous to set up our safety profile. Nobody else has that kind of safety history. Combined with, we've already done safety studies intraperitoneal, because that's how the ovarian cancer drug is administered, and intranasal. So that safety profile combined with what we've seen in the past studies highly recommends us, I believe, as the top potential candidate to combine as a universal synergistic adjuvant with checkpoint blockade therapies.
What's your background?
Well, my background starts a long time ago. I went into the Army right out of high school and into flight school. This was during the Vietnam War. I was a Cobra gunship pilot in Vietnam. I was asked to stay on as an instructor pilot for several years, which I did. And while I was an instructor pilot, I went to night school and got a bachelor's degree summa cum laude. I got a master's degree and it's a justice administration degree. And then I went to law school. And after law school, I became a complex business litigator, done some of the biggest cases in Florida in the business field, and I was also on many occasions asked by the court to come in as a receiver to turn companies around that were having serious business problems that required the supervision and leadership of a receiver. I was on the board of directors with Hemispherx for several years, and when there was a change in management, I was asked by the board to become the chief executive officer. That was almost 3 years ago, and since then we've made tremendous strides developing a program and a plan.
What's your website? Let's get it out there for more information.
Okay, it's www.Hemispherx, that's HEMISPHERX.net.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Equels, Hemispherx Biopharma, Inc. It's a publicly traded company, and the symbol is HEB on the NYSE. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive. We're coming to you live on the Planet MicroCap Showcase 2019 in Las Vegas. Tom, good to see you. Thanks for coming on.
Good to see you again, Shelley. Thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it.